Hello everyone, before we start this episode, I really quickly want to try something out, as this could potentially be very overpowered, but also lead to mass deforestation. So in the comments of last episode, Michael Games is how I imagine you pronounce it, told me a glitch that he uses in beta 1.7 to stop the farmland from being trampled. Because as you can see right now, of course it won't do it right now, but normally when you walk over this, there we go, it turns into dirt. By just walking, I'm not even jumping. However, turns out that if you place a fence underneath it, and I probably want to do this at a spot where there's actually water near, so this should prevent the trampling, which it didn't, but honestly I'm not sure if that's due to the water or not. I don't think so, because there's water like right there. Now again, this did work in 1.7 of the beta. Okay, well also thinking about it, I jumped on this. Okay, no, it just doesn't work. Well, sad days. That means it doesn't work in this version of the game. But it was a good experiment nonetheless. So what I want to do today is finish the interior of the house, as well as make a storage room. We'll have to come back to this farming idea some other day. Maybe there is another glitch or technique that we can use. Alright, first things first, what I want to do is I want to lay out all the walls. So we're going to have a kitchen, and then it's going to be this area. Now of course we have the hallway. And then this can be living room area, which is also connected to like a dining table, the dining area, and then we just have the stairs that go up. And this is going to need some extra work because, well, the ceiling here looks kind of messy. So I do want to block this entire section off, just to make it kind of align with the roof. There's going to be a fence right here. Might just make a bathroom here. We might make a walk-in closet. And then we still have the basement as well. This down here, I'm gonna just turn into a storage room. Alright, with that, all the door frames are in place. This one's gonna look very odd, but yeah, I don't think we can remove that. Also, I think that just disappeared. Never mind, it's up there. Yeah, there's no wood slabs or anything, or else I would put those here. I mean, potentially we could just make this slightly taller. Maybe even just put stairs in. Yeah, let's do that, because that will make it look a little better. Just put them in like so. And then we can actually place logs here, so it doesn't look off why this place doesn't have it. Yeah, so fences don't connect up to the blocks themselves, which is kind of annoying, but we can also not walk past here, so I think that's fine. And then for the walls, I'm going to use planks. Not that we have much of a choice. Alright, I put some stairs here. These act as shoe racks. This is the entrance of the house. The one thing I don't like about this wall is that it's the same color as the ceiling. But sadly, we cannot really do much about that, because there's only one wood type. There was actually something I wanted to do with that roof section, and I don't know why I didn't do it back then. I did mention that I thought it looked weird, but I think I know what is missing. So we have this cobblestone rim around everything, and for some reason I never put it on these stairs. Yeah, that is way better. Alright, so right now I'm working on some decorative items. Was it like this? How the heck did we make books again? Oh no. I think I'm gonna have to look this up. I don't remember the recipe for it. Alright, well, that wiki page kinda crashed on me, but I think, yes. This is how you made books back in the day. Okay, so it didn't need leather. I think I killed a bunch of innocent cows then. And I imagine that the bookcase recipe is still the same, as I don't remember that ever changing. Yep, it is. And what I would love is to do this. Put a pressure plate on a fence and call it a table. Sadly, you cannot put anything on fences in this version, which means it's gonna have to be something like so. There we go, we have a table. Right, I forgot we also ran out of flowers. Alright, I was thinking of maybe make a shelf, but I don't like the oak wood, so I might just use cobblestone. I also need some pumpkins for sure, because I do want to have some lighting that isn't torches. There's a bunch of sugarcane I need, because I want to have a lot more bookshelves. I also want to make a TV here. There's no black wool, is what we usually would use. I think the only blackened block is obsidian, so you know what that means. We're gonna make our very first diamond pickaxe. And immediately put it away as well, because I'm not going into the mines right now. Alright, instead of signs, I decided to put ladders around the dirt block. I think that actually looks pretty nice. Probably covers it up better than the signs anyway. And you know what? Paintings will make the walls look a lot nicer as well. Yeah, this works. Also, I'm not sure if I'm gonna put in doors. I would probably add something, but I'll probably leave them open at all times. Yeah, it is actually better to have the doors, even if I don't use them. Like, close them anyway. Alright, it is turning daytime now. Actually, it looks really nice from here. But anyway, it's time for us to do some exploring. We are in need of flowers, yellow and red, as well as pumpkins. Of course, a ton of sugarcane. So actually, before we go, I'm just gonna harvest these. Wow, out of all the crops, I can believe that one piece is still there. All the others were trampled by the animals. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. That scared me a lot. You know what? I'm gonna need to harvest this. We're going to need some bread. Right, we got some bread. It really is time to get out, though. Oh, we're back here again. So this was the other spot I was potentially thinking of building the house. We're actually not that far away, because if I walk slightly over here, you can see the house in the background there. Yeah, I did not walk very far on day one. Although I did walk, like, around the mountain. Ow! I should really pay attention to the ground here. And yeah, as you saw, that water also did not break my fall. No MLG bucket tricks in alpha. Not that I was probably able to do them anyway. Yeah, yellow flowers really seem to grow in abundance, and then red, it's kind of rare. Oh wow. I like these little areas that kind of go through the mountains. Aha, pumpkins. Or pumpkin, I guess? Oh no, never mind. There's another one over there. And it's also just one. Wow. I really like this area. I really should have walked slightly farther when exploring on day one. I've noticed that sugarcane also isn't as abundant. I haven't found a single piece of that. Look at that, it's one massive tree. Just on its own. That island over there looks kind of crazy too. That one has like a cove on the inside. Man, the terrain generation was sick back in the day. I feel like I'm seeing cool stuff. Now that we're not looking for a place to stay anymore. Well, it seems like we've come to the end of this side. It does look like... Oh boy, that could have been very bad. Huh. A way down. It does look like we're on a large island. Which actually would be kind of cool. You can see some stuff in the distance again. I kind of hope that it doesn't connect to this, because, again, having a large island would be really sick. Oh, come on. It has to be nighttime. Oh, what the hell happened over there? I see a bunch of roses, and that's when all the mobs start spawning. Ooh, that is a bunch of sugarcane over there. Well, it does look like all of this is connected, but it is by a tiny sliver of land. So realistically, if we were to want to make it an island, you could just dig up part of it and create a trench. Ooh, there's also clay here. I would like to actually get that. Because with that we can make bricks and then we can start a fireplace. What's up, creeper? Yeah, skeleton boy. Oh, nice, they're gonna fight. Well, that saves me a bunch of work. Ah, what the... Was that from the blocks that were falling? I think so. Yeah, that's dangerous. Also, our armor is completely broken now. Alright, it is daytime. They should start burning any second now. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, creeper, don't kill me, man. Gotta say, that's pretty cool. You know, I got to thinking, we get so much leather now. I could probably just make a leather outfit. Because iron is still kind of valuable to us. Okay, goddamn, this is a big patch. But I don't think we can do anything with leather. Because I originally got them for the books, but... turns out we don't need them for it. So I guess we can just make it into armor. Also, one, that area looks cool, and two, I see orange over there. That means pumpkin. Let's hope a little more than just 2 this time. Well, actually, there are more than 2. There's 3 of them. Right, unless I see pumpkins, which I don't, I think I'm gonna slowly loop back to the house. Alright, well, I will admit, I'm not 100% sure where we are in the world. But I do think if we follow this water here, we get to the beach where we spawned. Seeing as there's a large body of water on this side, that's already debatable again. If anything, I think we can say for certain that it's not an island. it is quite a large landmass. I feel like I recognize this place. I think this is where we started. And this is that area that I wanted to originally build my base at. Yeah, I think I see our house in the distance there. It doesn't look like regular terrain generation. You know, being on this ground level, maybe I'm glad that I did not build it over here. Oh, just in time for nighttime. Alright, we're back, and I'm gonna quickly cook up this one pork chop. Turn all of these into jack-o'-lanterns. And there's multiple places where I want to dot them around. Some just out in the open, and then other ones we can place in the ground just like that. Here, it might actually make sense to put it right over there. I think this area is still going to be too dark, though. But then again, can I place this over there? It will not shine through slabs. That is kind of unfortunate. Because the problem is I cannot place either of them here. Unless I just do this. But these would also prevent me from placing down the pressure plate. And then we got one more. That one is going underneath here for now. This one can go. And that's already all the pumpkins again. But this entire room doesn't use any torches. You know, I did bring these clay balls to make bricks, and then I could make a fireplace. I don't actually know where I would even put that, to be fair. We don't really have a space for it. And then this is where the TV is going to go eventually, when we have the obsidian. And then I eventually want to place either ladders or signs around this. I might place ladders on the back, and then signs on the sides. And also, before I forget, let's make that leather armor. That looks so weird. It kind of looks just like clay. We got clay armor. Yeah, alright, the visual style is a lot more like I remember it, but the icons surely changed. So yeah, besides the TV, I think the living room is done. And then next up I want to start on the storage room. Because that is kind of the next important place. I mean, the living room wasn't really that important, but it's kind of the main room we walk in. Alright, I got the basic floor in. It's gonna drop down a bit, so we're probably gonna have to push the wall back a slight bit. But then the question will become, what do we use as walls? I think cobblestone would make a lot of sense. We also have a ton of it, so that should be fine. But you know, before that, I'm gonna quickly chop down some more trees. We're going to need an absolute ton, because placing down a bunch of chests is gonna be expensive. Now, luckily, there are not crazy many items in the game. So on that front, I think we should be good. Alright, that axe is gone. We got almost 2 stacks of logs. Alright, the question is gonna be, how much farther do we want to push this back? Because I don't think very far. Yeah, I think this is already far enough. Alright, so this is gonna be the shape of the storage room. As you can see, I'm planning on using more than just the storage, as I do have a section out here. But we come to that some other day. You know what, I'll also have a window right here, because it's going to be somewhat different. Alright, I changed this up a bit. So now we have more of a dividing wall between the lower and the higher section. You know, it would help if I have a crafting table down here as well. So there we go, we got the stairs in as well. Now it is time to make an absolute ton of chests. Again, there's not that many items. Some do require more chests than others, and there is something I want to try out. Okay, this has already been in the game for a while then, where you cannot stack chests. So let's see, of course I want to have a chest for the different kind of ores, but I think they can be in their own chests, maybe 2 of them. We split redstone, coal in one, and then the ores in another. Dirt and cobblestone are definitely gonna need 1, maybe even 2. Wood, but that can be all in one box. Some decorative ones, like the fences and bookshelf, pressure plates, they all go into one. Let's actually start placing down chests, because I'll totally forget. But before we do that, let's watch this beautiful sunrise. Doesn't it look amazing? Alright, well, back to work. So the bottom section here is going to be for our ores. Then let's have these ones for stone. And you know what? I'm going to change out these pillars. I don't like the cobblestone. It's too much. I'm just going to use the smooth stone slabs. Now, annoyingly, though, there are some limitations of placing them. For example, there needs to be an air block above it for us to place the top one down. But I think I only want to do that in the corners. Alright, then this side is going to be dirt. And this is going to have smooth stone. This one is going to have gravel. So for now, let's just start gathering all these supplies. because I kind of want to see what we're working with. We don't have every block in the game yet, so there is some planning that we need to do. For example, none of the nether blocks we got, of course. Actually, thinking about it, I think those are mainly it. Also, I'm placing this in one chest because I'm not planning on getting that much smooth stone just yet. Seeing as there's no silk touch in the game, for us to realistically get a large batch of smooth stone is by smelting cobblestone. And I don't see me doing that anytime soon. And I think by the time we do, we probably have a different storage system set up. Alright, these are going to house some of my favorite blocks. One, all the plants. And then the other is going to have all the decorative items. Alright, this can have nether stuff, which we don't have yet, of course. It also seems like the chests only have one orientation. Eventually we will need to hang up signs here because it's going to be annoying to remember otherwise. But we don't really have the wood for that currently, and it's nighttime. Right now though, let's head to the mines and collect everything from there. Thinking about it, I also had a chest out here. Some wheat in there, there's a pork chop. Let's quickly run. I'm gonna take the secret tunnel over to the mine shaft because it's a lot safer. And we'll actually leave the saplings here because I am growing trees in this area. Right, we also had a saddle, so we need a chest of valuables. But we probably just put that in the bedroom. I guess the other neat thing is now that we have a space for the sugarcane, I can just walk past and hit them every once in a while. Alright, even though we don't have a room up here yet, let's place the valuables chest down already and get the diamond pickaxe out. Then we need some water, and I think you can already see what we're going to be doing. But alright, before we go into the mines, I wanted to hang up a quick sign. I know that this technique didn't technically work, not in this version anyway, but as a thank you for commenting on the video, trying to help out. You now have your own farm. That doesn't actually work, because pretty much every spot has been trampled. Alright, currently I'm gonna need 4 pieces of obsidian. I'm not really planning on taking more than that, because that would be annoying as heck, because there's no efficiency. And these things, back in the day, they took 30 seconds to mine. I think for the nether portal, instead of mining them like this, I'm gonna use the bucket trick, because it's gonna take so long otherwise. And we can leave this obsidian here for if we ever need it for building again. Alright, 4 pieces, time to get the heck out of here. Huh. This boat, which is supposed to be a wheelbarrow, was over here at some point. I think the zombies have been working at the farm. What's this other one doing? That one's still in the same place after we pushed it back. Alright, let's place these down. I was thinking of making a large TV, but I think this is actually fine already. Because otherwise if it touched the ceiling, it would be kind of weird. Also, obsidian is going into this chest, where all the nether stuff is going to be. Alright, now I'm just gonna have to get this 1x2 painting. I kind of want to get another one. You know what? Sure, I'll have this. And then on the top, let's have some pressure plates. You can barely see it, and I think if you don't know that they were there, you probably wouldn't even notice it. But I think that's fine. Adds that extra small detail that you only notice if you watch this episode. Yeah, that's the living room done. I think for the kitchen, I would like to get some more iron going, and we also need some better lighting. So that means pumpkin hunting again. Same for this hallway and the upstairs. And I guess this little hallway too. We're gonna have to think of something. I probably want to have some glowstone. And then have glowstone dangling down from a fence. Kind of have a chandelier vibe. I think that would work because there's such a tall ceiling. Which means we have to go to the nether at some point before we finish up the house. You know, at first I was thinking of doing the entire house at once, but one, this already took me 2 hours, and I got 2 rooms done. We did do some exploring as well, of course. But I also want to take my time with this and don't rush it. And there's going to be some more supplies that I need. Again, pumpkins is one of them. Iron, as I said. Going to the nether, though, is going to be a big boost in getting all the blocks for the museum. We also need to build that eventually. I'm thinking of building the Pantheon, which is going to be the museum, like up there. It's going to be massive. So we're going to have to see if that's going to work out. But I think we can have like a bridge here, then go up the mountain, go over there. It could look really cool. think in the next episode, I want to work on this outside area. So if you have any ideas for what we should place here, leave it in the comments down below. But with that, see you on the next one. Bye everyone.